November 2003. I'm a junior in college at NYU. I'd been doing stand-up maybe 2 years. My mom calls me up. She says, Aziz, are you coming home for Thanksgiving? And I said, Ma, you know the money I set aside to come home for Thanksgiving? There's been a change of plan. Dave Chappelle is doing some shows in San Francisco at the Punchline, and I gotta go see that. And she's like, who is Dave Chappelle? I said, he's maybe the greatest comedian alive. She says, is that the guy that goes, I'm Rick James, bitch? And I said, yes. She said, he's hilarious, have a good time. And I went to those shows. I saw it was like 6 shows that he did at the Punchline, and these were those Dave Club shows where he did, you know, really long sets that went to like 4 or 5 in the morning, and they were hilarious, and they were thought-provoking, and it was incredible. And since then, I've gotten to know Dave as a friend. We've done shows together. Beyond being an incredible performer, he is an incredible human being. I remember a moment one time we were at a party. Someone came up to him to ask for a photo, and he said, hey, we're not here to take pictures. We're here to make memories. And that's a beautiful sentiment. And that's how he lives his life. He treats every moment like it has a potential to be a wonderful memory, you know? Early this year, Dave and I, we did some shows together in Austin, Texas. We finished the shows, and we're in the green room together, and Dave said, what kind of night are you trying to have tonight, Aziz? And I says, you know, I'm probably gonna take it easy. We went hard yesterday, and we got shows tomorrow. And he said, well, you wanna eat these psychedelic mushrooms I got? They're supposed to be amazing. Sorry, Dave's family. I said, I don't know, Dave. Maybe I'll just take it easy and get some rest for tomorrow. And he said, well, Aziz, no one knows this, but tomorrow they're gonna announce that I am the winner of the Mark Twain Prize for American Humor. And he said, what are you gonna tell your kids 20 years from now, Aziz? Are you gonna tell them I was there the day Dave Chappelle found out he won the Mark Twain Award and we ate mushrooms together and we had the night of our lives? Or are you gonna tell them you got some sleep? And I said, Dave, you got a point. Let's eat those mushrooms. To Twain.
This is some real shit. I think if dogs could talk, neglected dogs, they would sound like Dave Chappelle. Like if you leave them in the backyard too long, you'd be complaining, be like, oh shit, son, I need somebody to come back here. Nobody feeds me. Ow!
Yeah, the jacket is fresh as fuck.
Oh!
Fucking mafia.
Hey, Ron, how are you? I'm going to piss.
It looks like you just got back from beating up motherfuckers.
First time anyone ever brought me on stage, guy named JT Newton. I don't even know, is JT alive? Oh. Seriously?
He lives in Long Island.
Well, that's good news. You ever think a nigga was dead, but he just lived in Long Island? I went to the comedy club with my very best friend. We're still friends to this day. We showed up early. It was 5 o'clock. Back in those days, all you had to do to be a comedian was show up early enough to sign the list. It was 20 spots. I came right after school. I picked 7. My best friend at the time picked the 5th. He bombed. He didn't make it. JT introduced me. He said, folks, everybody's got to start somewhere, and tonight, this young man is starting here. I remember it like it was yesterday. He said, you might be witnessing the birth of a star. Please welcome Dave Chappelle. I went by myself, but by the time I went on, my mother, who was here tonight, And her mother, who is no longer with us, showed up. I begged you not to come. Oh, I begged her not to come. So the only way I can handle this is to confront it. So I went to my grandmother and I said, listen, Nana, listen. I'm gonna say some things tonight that you have never heard me say. And Mom, you'll appreciate this. Do you remember what your mother said to me?
She said, I've heard worse.
No. She said, baby, do this shit. It was on. I guess what I'm trying to say to you, Mom, not only thank you, but I told you so.
There are times when you need someone.
Yeah, Dave.
I will be by your
We love you, brother. Yes.
There is a light that shines
Yeah.
special for you and me.
I never knew a la like this. Gotta be something for me to write this. Queen, I ain't seen you in a minute. Wrote this letter and finally decided to send it. Signed, sealed, delivered for us to grow together. Love has no limit. Let's spin it slow forever. Your heart is weathered by what studs did to you. I ain't gon' solve them. I did it too. Cause of you feelings I handle with care. Brothers recognize your light. They can't handle the glare. Hey, I ain't the type to walk around with matching shirts. A relationship is effort. I match your work. Be the one that make you happiest, hurt you the most. The end is near. Come close
To the what?
to the most high. Regardless of what happened on him, let's rely.
There are times
Yeah, yo.
when you need someone.
Say what? Come on.
I will be by your side.
Yeah, let them know about the light, y'all. Come on.
There is a light that shines.
It shines so-
special for you and
Yeah,
me.
yeah. Tick a da, tick a da, tick a tick a da, tick a da, tick a da, tick a tick a da, tick a da, tick a da, tick a tick a da. Yo, I tell you the rest when I see you. Peace. Dave, you the greatest, baby. We love you, man. The greatest, brother. A beacon of light.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you all. Oh, wow. Boy, that was exciting, wasn't it? Thank you, guys. Have a seat, feel comfortable, relax. I want to thank everyone in LA for a wonderful week. It's been great here. You know what? It's been 10 years since the last time I played Los Angeles, if you can imagine. I know, I've been gone for a very long time. And unbeknownst to you, it was a difficult 10 years. I'm not gonna take you through all the agony I've been through, but it was tough. Some of it you might have seen. I don't know if you ever saw on TMZ, the big headline, Dave Chappelle, drunk on stage in Detroit. Well, if you saw it, I wasn't drunk. I had smoked some reefer with some rappers. Yeah. I don't know if you know anything about hanging out with rappers, but their weed is very strong. Stronger than what I was accustomed to. The article goes on to say I was booed off stage, which is also incorrect. I was booed. I did not leave. It was a long bump. It was a fucking nightmare. 2 puffs of weed, that's all it was. 2 puffs. I never had that happen. When I take 2 puffs of weed, I looked at the guy next to me, I was like, I'm gonna bomb, nigga, I can feel it. And that guy called my name, Dave Chappelle. Niggas was like, you know, normally when you do a comedy show, you guys don't know what it looks like up here, but niggas be looking up at you like. That's how the show started. Didn't take long for the faces to switch up, like, what the fuck? They started looking amongst themselves. So I knew I wasn't doing good. I don't remember what I was saying. It just took one person to break the ice. It's a black lady with a Ford Motor shirt on. She stood up suddenly. Fuck you, Dave Chappelle. I said, excuse me? She said, I worked all week for this shit, and this show sucks. And In a weird act of racial harmony, a conservative white guy stood up and backed her up. Yeah! The whole crowd band together and started chanting, "We want our money back. We want our money back." I said, "Oh shit." I snapped out of it. Good people of Detroit, hear me. Hear me now. You will never get your fucking money back. Fuck that. I said, I'm like Evil Knievel. I get paid for the attempt. I didn't promise this shit would be good. Boo, they said, fuck you. This went on for a long time. And then after the show, I felt so bad, I took half of the money from the show, thousands of dollars. I said, I'm gonna give this to charity. You know what I did? I bought $25,000 worth of bubble gum and drove around Detroit and handed it out to the homeless so they could chew it and still be hungry. I was very mad at Detroit that night. Because not only did I bomb, nigga, I had to go back to the very same room the next night and do it all over again. Fucking nightmare. That would be like if you were having sex with a woman and for some reason, this would never happen, but for some reason, she had a mouse trap in her pussy. You get caught in the trap. And then you gotta fuck her again tomorrow night. I'd still do it, but you know, I'd be careful the next time. The old mouse trap in the pussy trick, eh? Fool me once. Yeah, it was a tough time. And I wanted to give up sometimes. I almost did give up, but then right before I gave up, I decided not to. But I made the call. They answered the phone. Hello? Dancing with the Stars. I said, not yet. Not yet. Yeah. Oh, if you see me on that shit, it's over. Trust me. My spirit is broken. If you see me waiting for them judges, getting critiqued on my cha-cha, fuck that. I've been hanging out in there. I haven't been working in LA, but I come out here and hang out and shit. I was out here a few weeks ago. I almost got arrested. I'm not bullshitting. This happens to a lot of black people. What happened was, I was coming out of one of those nightclubs in Hollywood, and my friend saw me. I guess I was wobbling or something. So he just rolled up. He's a good friend of mine. He's like, hey, Dave, give me the keys. And I was like, all right, nigga, just take the keys. And I got in the passenger side of my car, and he drove it. And it was fine. Just talking, chopping it up. And then on the 10, the blue and whites hit us. Now, I should tell you, the friend that was driving me was black, which really doesn't have anything to do with the story, other than to let you know there was fear in the car. Not my fear. I'm black, but I'm also Dave Chappelle. So I figured, you know, shit'll probably be fine. Traffic stop started off on the right foot. Cops came up to the driver's side. Hi, how you guys doing? And he recognized me immediately. Oh, Dave Chappelle. And I looked at my friend like, we getting out of this shit. And then he says, you know, you guys were swerving in the lane. Do you mind just stepping out the car for a second? Still no cause for alarm. I looked through the rearview mirror. The body language of the arrest looked good. He was talking. So then I started fucking with the radio. You know, a traffic stop's going good if you listen to the radio when someone else is outside of the car. But then when I looked back in the rearview mirror, something had gone horribly wrong. That motherfucker's back there like. And the next thing I knew, they were stuffing him in the back of the car, and I thought, you know, when anybody would think of a situation like that, oh my God, what is gonna happen to me? And the police walked up to the window. Mr. Chappelle, we had to arrest your friend. He refused to take our breathalyzer test. I said, that motherfucker. Not complying, that's odd. So, officer, what's gonna happen to me? Well, you're fine. We're just gonna have to ask you to step out of the car so we can impound the vehicle, and we'll arrange for you to have a ride home. I said, oh, well, nah, I would rather you just give me the keys. They said, Mr. Chappelle, your friend already told us he's your designated driver. We can't let you drive in this condition. I was like, no, nigga, I'm good. I'm good. And then suddenly the shit turned into Vegas. He was like, I'll let you blow for it. I said, excuse me? He said, if you blow in my breathalyzer. I said, oh, nigga, I thought you was trying to get your dick sucked. What's going on? If you blow in my breathalyzer and pass, I'll give you the keys to the car. I said, Set him up, nigga, let's play. And I blew in that thing, and it made a noise. I said, uh-oh. And he looked at it and he said, oh, well, Mr. Chappelle, I guess you're free to go. I said, I am. I didn't know that thing didn't pick up weed. I drove home on the 30 miles an hour. Yeah, no, it all worked out. It all worked out. I'm one of the lucky ones. It doesn't work out that well for everybody. I saw that videotape of that lady that got beat up in LA in the traffic. You see that shit on rush hour traffic? They beat a black woman's ass. This woman didn't even do anything wrong. It's fucked up. It was so fucked up it didn't even go to court. The city of LA just gave that woman $1.5 million for her pain and suffering. That is not bad, considering that's the same amount of money that Marcos Maidana made to fight Floyd Mayweather the second time. And this woman obviously hasn't trained a day in her life. You can see it on the tape. She didn't come to fight. Her guards were low. She was taking a lot of shots. I came back here where I started because I will shoot my final Netflix special tonight. That's right. And after this shit, it's time to make America wait again. I've done too well. You know, if you black in show business and do too well, it's scary, nigga. Like, you gotta get the fuck out of the casino while the getting's good, while you're still winning. If you don't walk away from the table, that's how niggas get Kevin Harted. You already know. That's my man. I'm just saying, if he got a sex tape out, well, it's just a matter of time for me. But you know why I be thinking sometimes I want to stop doing comedy? And you know, I don't want to sound like a braggart saying this, but the real reason I want to stop is because I'm too goddamn good at it. I'm dope, nigga. Like, no, I'm not even exaggerating. It's not exciting. Every night before I come out on stage, I'll be backstage like, I'm sure this is gonna go well. And it always does. I'm so good at writing jokes, and this is not even an exaggeration. I actually write jokes backwards. I will write a punchline with no particular setup in mind. I just put it on a scrap of paper, and I'll throw that scrap of paper in my fishbowl. I have a fishbowl in my house filled with random punchlines. And every once in a while, I'll shake the bowl, and I'll dig in there and just pull one out and see if I can make that shit work. And I picked one for this special. It's not an easy punchline to pull off. Are you ready? Yeah. Here it goes. The punchline is, so I kicked her in the pussy. I haven't finished the joke yet. I just know whatever happens in the beginning of the joke, at the end of the joke, for some reason, I'm gonna kick somebody in the pussy. And it's going to be hilarious. And you know what's weird? I've always been this talented.
I can't remember a time when I wasn't. You know, when I was growing up, I was probably about 8 years old, and at the time, we were living in Silver Spring. Yeah. Yes. Common misconception about me in D.C. A lot of people think I'm from the hood. That's not true. But I never bothered to correct anybody because I wanted the streets to embrace me. As a matter of fact, I kept it up as a ruse. Like sometimes I'll hang out with rappers like Nas and them, and these motherfuckers will start talking about the projects. Yo, it was wild in the PJs, yo. And I'll be like, word, nigga, word. But I don't know. I have no idea. My parents did just well enough so that I could grow up poor around white people. And to be honest, when Nas and them talk about the projects, nigga, I used to get jealous because it sounded fun. Everybody in the projects was poor, and that's fair. But if you were poor in Silver Spring, nigga, it felt like it was only happening to you. Nas does not know the pain of that first sleepover at a white friend's house. And you come back home on Sunday and just look at your parents like, y'all need to step your game up. Everything in Timmy's house works. Remember the first time you saw that? In a cold winter, and you'd be at a white friend's house and see the motherfuckers in their living room without their coats on? Timmy was one of my first white friends, like, in my life, man. He's a good dude, too. He moved to Silver Spring from Utah, of all places. I guess his family was affiliated with that Mormon church they got down there, and me and him used to hang out. And one day I was at his house, we were just hanging out, and Timmy says, Dave, why don't you stay for dinner tonight? I said, oh, man, I'd love to, but I can't. If I'm not home before dark, my mother will kill me. That was a lie. My mother had several jobs. I hadn't seen her in like 3 or 4 days. And the only reason I lied to Timmy was because at that point in my life, it was my experience that white dinner wasn't delicious. I'd rather go home and fry some bologna or some shit like that. But then old Timmy threw me a curveball I wasn't expecting. He said, well, it's too bad you can't stay, Dave, because Mom made stovetop stuffing. I said, what the fuck, stovetop? Well, hold on, nigga, let me make some phone calls real quick. I had seen that commercial so many times, I had dreamt of getting my hands on some of that stovetop stuffing. And finally, I met a motherfucker that actually had a box of stovetop in the house. I couldn't miss this opportunity, so I pretended to call my mother. And then I came back and I said, Timmy, you're not gonna believe this great news. Mom said I can stay. And he said, fantastic. He said, why don't you come with me and we'll help set the table and then we can say the blessing. I had no interest in setting this motherfucker's table or saying these crazy ass Mormon prayers. I just wanted that goddamn stuffing. So I told Timmy, I said, you know what, I'd love to help, but let me go wash my hands first. My plan was simple. Wash my hands slowly, and by the time I'm done, the table will be set, the blessing will be said, and all that there will be left to do is eat. Went to the bathroom. I washed my hands very slowly. I must have been in there for about 10 minutes. And suddenly, one of his mothers came to the door. She was like, hi, David, right? I said, yes, ma'am. She said, Timmy tells me that you're planning on staying for dinner. I said, I hope that's not a problem, ma'am. She says, no, it's no problem. In fact, we'd love to have you. It's just that we weren't expecting company. And I'm afraid there's not enough stovetop stuffing for everybody. So I kicked her in the pussy. Bam! Ladies and gentlemen, I told you I'm dope, nigga. I told you what I was gonna say and you still didn't see it coming. And that's why I make the big bucks. Oh my God. But there's a more important reason that I would stop doing comedy right now. And this reason is the real reason that's been percolating, and it really is the crowd, not you. I'm talking about the crowd on the big stage. It's too hard to entertain a country whose ears are so brittle. Motherfuckers are so sensitive, the whole country is turned into bitch-ass niggas. Everything you say upsets somebody. You know, I can remember when it all started. It was when I was doing Chappelle show. When I was doing Chappelle show, I used to do the show, and then on the weekends, I do like concerts and shit like that. So I'm doing a concert, and there was a couple in the front row, beautiful couple. The wife was obviously Asian. You could see it in her face. The husband, this motherfucker was mysterious, to say the least. Couldn't quite pinpoint where he was from. Caramel-colored fella, very nice hair, but he could have been from anywhere. Bangladesh, Mexico. I can't guess with a nigga like this. All I knew for sure about this guy is that his wife was a bitch. I could see that in her face, too. No, he was laughing and having a good time, and she was scowling at me at a goddamn comedy show. I couldn't figure it out. And then I realized at some point that she was pregnant, and I was smoking on stage. I said, oh my God, that's probably why she's mad. So I started to put my cigarette out, but then she hit me with one of them fake non-smoker calls. So I just kept smoking. I thought to myself, bitch, that babe will be fine, relax. And I tried to break the tension. I just asked her. That's all I said. I go, hey, where are you guys from anyway? And I could tell that she was on to me. She goes, very condescendingly, she says, I'm from California. If you're asking my ethnicity, I am Chinese. And her husband was just cool about the shit. He was like, I'm Mexican, bro. I said, well, I'm sorry if I offended you by asking, but you're a very beautiful couple. And miss, there's no question that you're gonna give birth to the hardest working baby this world has ever seen. That's not a bad joke. She got very upset. She got up to leave immediately, but she didn't just leave. She had to take one last dig at me on the way out. I will never buy one of your fucking DVDs again, Dave Chappelle. I said, ma'am, with all due respect, Chinese people don't buy DVDs. And the crowd went crazy. We were all laughing, having a good time. I didn't even think anything of it. And then just 3 days later, this lady sends a fucking letter to my promoter telling him not to book me for shows anymore because I was, quote, racist, and I'm quoting her, insensitive to the nature of my interracial marriage. I was like, word, bitch, I was. If she had just done a little bit of research, she would know that I myself am in an interracial marriage. That's right. In fact, my wife is Asian too. Surprise, bitch, I'll see you on Thanksgiving. But my wife's not Chinese.
She's Filipino. That's right. And our kids are Puerto Rican somehow, so there you go. But I don't give a fuck about interracial marriage. In fact, you know what? My mother is half white. A lot of people don't know that. Well, all right, you were a little too excited, but okay. A lot of people don't believe me when I say that, but it's true. You can't tell looking at me, but if I grew my hair out, you would think you was at a fucking Cat Williams concert. My shit is beautiful. But motherfuckers are just taking it too far. I don't know why or how everybody got this goddamn sensitive. You know who hates me the most? The transgender community. Yo, yeah, these motherfuckers. I mean, I didn't realize how bad it was. These motherfuckers are really mad about that last Netflix special.
This is my Bible. My son just turned 18 years old. Best day of my life because he's one of the trios I have. I have 3 kids and he's the last. 18 years old, and that's a man that's in his 50s. When you see your kids get 18 years old, that is your chance for you to live your life. I tell my kids all the time, once you turn 18, our relationship has changed. How is that, Daddy? I said, let me explain. I am no longer the provider. I am the advisor. So when you got a problem now, nigga, I say, this is what I would do if I was you. But you was raised right, nigga. Make good decisions. Close the door so me and your future stepmama can get busy. No, man, when your kids become an adult, it is your time to capture the things that you wanted to do, that you sacrificed by raising in them. I tell people all the time, kids are the most expensive thing you will ever purchase, to ever have in your life, because they, at the maximum, they're dream killers. At the minimum, nigga, they're dream delayers. Because you done put what you wanted to do to facilitate their growth. And when they get 18, it's your time for you to do the things you need to do because you're in the 4th quarter of your life. But some of y'all don't. Y'all still be in your kids' lives when they're 18 as if they was an adolescent. And I don't blame most of y'all because y'all let these kids around here manipulate you. Because them kids sit down and throw that guilt on you. They've been in your life and seen some of the times when you was at your lowest point. And they throw that shit in your face. They also know that there's things that you wanted to do for them that you couldn't do for them and you feel guilty about that and they play that shit on you. And I'm telling you right now, from the bottom of my heart, fuck these kids. Don't you let these motherfuckers fuck with you. I'm telling you right now, if you did everything to the best of your ability to provide for your kids, you are a great ass parent. Don't you let these little motherfuckers make you feel bad. Telling you right goddamn now. I wish one of my kids would tell me I'm not a great ass father. I only got one question for him, period. If I'm not a great father, nigga, who are you comparing me to? Who this mythological black man you think gonna make the sacrifices I did and all this for you like I did? Take you to all these activities, go to your basketball game, be there for 3 hours, and your ass don't even get in the game. Me and you sitting on the bench. You could have FaceTime me this bullshit. Sitting over there like you assistant coach and shit. Since we comparing, you ain't a good ass child. Almost lost my job fucking with your ass. Fuck these kids. These ain't jokes. I had a time to spend time with my son and they make me learn that our kids are not built like us. My son don't have no swag, zero, nada, none. Told him the other day, let's ride, Clyde. This nigga like, who's Clyde, daddy? Get your ass in the car. I just want to know who Clyde is. Is he a friend of yours? No, nigga, you Clyde. My name Nathaniel. Open your mouth, let me swab you. You gotta understand, you can't raise your kids the way you was raised. It does not apply. The way we was raised does not have nothing to do with our kids. You got to understand that we are inner city parents raising suburban kids. So all the things we went through does not apply to these little soft motherfuckers we dealing with. You put your hands on your kids, just one of the ass whooping that your mother and father gave you, put it on your kids. You'll scar these little soft motherfuckers for life. They can't do it. I just try to punish my son, send him to his room. This nigga write a suicide note. He be in there, Daddy, I don't know how long I can take this shit. The walls are coming in on me. I said, this nigga can never go to jail. He can't even stay in his own room with an Xbox. These ain't jokes. My son got a concussion from falling in grass. He was in the hospital for 3 weeks. Hey, what's happened? What happened to him? I said, he tripped out back. They ain't built like us. You buy him a bike, you gotta get a helmet, shoulder pads, knee pads. You playing football or riding a bike, motherfucker. They not built like us. We used to go to the park, get on the swing set, and wrap the pole. Let one of these kids go to a swing set and try to wrap the pole. Come back, chain around the neck. You're like, get your ass down from there. Well, you said go around. Get your motherfucking ass. They not built like us. Can't leave them in the car when it's hot. Our mother left us in the car when it was hot. We was just smart enough to get the fuck out. And look at the door to see when she coming out. Oh, here she coming. Get back in the car. Get back. That's right. I was sitting over here. You right, you right, you right. I was over here. You right, you right. Fuck her. It don't take you no 3 hours getting no tuna fish. Our kids just stay in the car and die. Get your ass out the car. You said don't get out. It's 200 degrees, motherfucker. Die in the car. Stupid motherfuckers. Fuck these kids. But you ain't got to put your hands on no kids. Your kids ain't doing what they supposed to do. I done found their Achilles heel. I know exactly what you can get, how you can get them. They ain't doing what the fuck they supposed to do. Found their weakness. No, it ain't the phone, no. All you need to do, turn that motherfucker Wi-Fi off. They on that shit like crack. I ain't lying to you. My son, he be upstairs, I be calling him, come downstairs. Nigga, act like he don't hear me. I don't even call him no more. He don't do what the fuck he supposed to do. All I do is unplug that Wi-Fi. And then come to Daddy, we ain't got no signal. Signal, Daddy, signal. I was playing Fortnite. I was really doing that. This nigga's cracking. Look at him. I ain't got no signal today. You look at me, Daddy, you got signal. I said, I got signal. I ain't get signal. Take that trash out, nigga. You take that trash out, nigga. I see 5G in your future. I'm Earthquake. I love y'all all day long. This is how we do it.
The fuck is this? And then all year, we was touring, and I couldn't wait to see what he was gonna say in his special about this slap. And I toured him all year, but the night he taped his special, Chris was one of these guys, he's crafty. You never know what he's gonna say until he really says it. So I went to see him tape his special. He taped it right up the street in Baltimore. Now, you guys are from DC, so you know about Baltimore. We all know that through the years, DC has been through some very, very tough times. Sadly, Baltimore is still in a very tough time. Not everybody in the world really can understand the depth of Baltimore. Baltimore is so desperate that Tupac and his mother moved from Baltimore to Oakland for a better life. And Chris Rock went so hard in the paint, and I can't believe he did this, he shocked a Baltimore crowd. I didn't even know that was possible. I started doing comedy around here. Shocked them. And you know what he said that got him? He looked at the crowd, he walked out. I didn't expect him to say this. He looked at the crowd, it was all black, Baltimore black. Even if you rich and black in Baltimore, you know them niggas is traumatized about something. And Chris shocked him, and this is what he said. He went to that crowd. He said, I refuse to be a victim. And the crowd said, oh. And I was backstage looking like, nigga, watch the tape. I know it's fucked up, but I tell you the truth. You know, everything's funny. Everything's funny till it happens to you. 3 months, a mere 3 months after that terrible attack that Chris Rock endured, I was on stage at the Hollywood Bowl, and a lunatic jumped out of the crowd and attacked me. Now, I gotta tell you, if it happens to you, you don't even know what the fuck is happening. It was like slow motion. I just looked over. I don't know this nigga. And I just looked. I said, oh my God, I'm being attacked. And this motherfucker was ragged. He jumped at me. He was like, ah! I'm old, but I'm fast. I caught this motherfucker's head with my hand and pulled his hoodie over his eyes. I can still feel his head in my hand. It was spongy. He had been growing dreadlocks. Not the beautiful dreads that Rastafarians grow. These were accidental LA homeless dreads. This shit had leaves and sticks and bottle caps and shit in it, some kind of grease. I was like, ugh, like this. And then I fell down. And he knocked me all the way on the ground. And I was like, man, this is a bad situation. I don't know if I'm gonna die or what's gonna happen. But in that moment of vulnerability, you know what occurred to me that had never occurred to me before in my life? In that moment, it occurred to me that bodyguards should not wear dress shoes to work. Travis! This nigga Travis came out slipping and sliding on some kind of beautiful loafer and fell flat on his back. Bop. I said, oh my God. Now both of us are down. I gotta handle this shit myself. So I popped right back, boom. And then the kid that knocked me down, he popped out, boom, and we looked at each other and realized, at the same time, I was bigger than him. And that motherfucker took off running. And I started to chase him, and I said, fuck him. I picked the microphone up. So I'm gonna finish this show now. That's right. For 3 months before that, I'd been making fun of Chris Rock. And people would ask me all the time. They'd say, Dave, what would you do if you were Chris Rock and Will Smith slapped you in the face? And to this day, the answer is the same. Well, I don't know what I would have done. I've never been in a situation that extreme. But I do know now what Will Smith would not have done. And that is enjoy the rest of his evening. Man, listen. We gave that kid a good while. We was whooping his ass. Not we, I mean, I was on stage trying to think of a joke to tell, but they was beating this nigga up right behind me. Everybody could see it. Everybody could see it. And I'm sitting up there trying to think of what to say. And I'm tongue-tied. Me, of all people, can't think of anything to say. Look at my karma. Just that moment. Of all the people in the world, Chris Rock walks from backstage, walks up to me in front of 20,000 people, grabs the mic out of my hands and looks at the crowd and goes, was that Will Smith? Man, motherfuckers fell out of their chairs laughing. I was standing there looking stupid. I was fucking furious, because I'm thinking in my mind, nigga, this is my attack. You got attacked 3 months ago. Now you have jokes. So I snatched the mic back from Chris and tried to get one off, but my shit did not go good at all. I didn't know what to say. I was just like, it was a trans man. And the crowd was like, boo. This is LA, we like trans people, boo. I know, I felt so bad. I felt so bad. But I know why I did it. You'd have to be there to understand, but man, when that guy tackled me, it was like it's like a movie or something. You gotta picture this. Picture a famous person you like. Every famous person you could imagine was at that show. It was like the biggest night that Hollywood had ever seen. And when that guy tackled me, he cleared the bleachers. I had to watch the tape afterwards to know this happened, but as soon as he tackled me, Jamie Foxx was the first motherfucker that jumped out of the crowd. He was wearing a white cowboy hat like he knew this shit was gonna happen to him. Never seen this nigga in a cowboy hat before. And Jamie started chasing that motherfucker around like any given Sunday. And that kid was fast as shit, was juking and shaking, and he broke Jamie's ankles, and he just kept running. And then Jon Stewart from The Daily Show ran from backstage and jumped at this motherfucker like Super Jew. He was like, ah! And the kid seen Jon coming, so he jumped back, and Jon went flying that way. And this kid was fast, and then he turned around. He sees the emergency exit. He starts running for the emergency exit. Just before he got to the door, motherfucking Puff Daddy from Bad Boy Records jumped in front of the door. That nigga was like, Boy, Puffy got that motherfucker. And then every celebrity just ran out because every celebrity saw themselves in me, and they just started beating the fuck out of that kid. And I know Chris was backstage looking like, nobody helped me. Everybody hates Chris. Michael Jackson has been dead for 10 years, and this nigga has 2 new cases. And if you haven't watched that documentary, then I'm begging you, don't watch it. It's fucking gross. I felt like HBO was sticking baby dicks in my ears for 4 hours straight. Really nasty shit. I don't want to know all these things. Turns out, Michael Jackson allegedly likes a long gander at the anus.
Just let it go. We had everything we needed, but we let it go. I need more in me, all that I and all that has comes back to me. The more we talk, the talk is not a tongue. The more we talk, the talk is not a tongue. The more we talk, the talk is not a tongue. The more we talk, the talk is not a tongue. Come close to me, makes me feel so weak. I want it now. What am I gonna do? I want it now, what am I gonna do? I want it now, what am I gonna do?
I know it seems harsh, but man, somebody's got to teach these kids. There's no such thing as a free trip to Hawaii. He's gonna want to look at your butthole or something. You know why I don't believe it? You know why I don't believe it? Because if Michael Jackson's out here doing all this molesting, then why not Macaulay Culkin? Macaulay Culkin said in an interview that Michael Jackson never did anything inappropriate with him or even around him. Think about that shit.